Chapter 1. The Call That Never Ends. My name is Finch. I am a husband. My wife's name is Julia. I am an accountant. I work with numbers every day. My life is quiet. It is very normal, calm, and ordinary. But then my phone began to ring. It rang every day for 2 full weeks, without stopping. It was always the same number calling, again and again, showing only an unknown number on my screen. I did not know this person. It was always an old woman with a trembling, soft, and tired voice. The first time I answered, I said, "Hello?" Her voice was soft and old, fragile like paper. She said, "Michael? Is that you, Ia?" I was confused. I do not know a man named Michael. I said, "I'm sorry. You have the wrong number." She was silent for a long, quiet moment. Then she said, "Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry." She hung up the phone without saying anything else. I didn't think about it again. It was a mistake, a simple mistake. Nothing more to remember. But she called again the next day, and the next. Every day for 2 long weeks, she called. The same number, the same voice. Every day she asked softly, "Michael?" Please, I felt uneasy each time. Every time I was polite. I said, "Ma'am, this is the wrong number." "Please check your number," I said. "My name is not Michael." I felt bad for her. She sounded lonely. She sounded lost. But I was busy. I had my work. I had my life. I wanted the calls to stop. Then today the phone rang again. It was Tuesday. I was at my desk, tired and working. The numbers were hard to focus on. My head hurt. I was tired. I wanted silence instead. The screen showed the unknown number again. I felt angry this time, tired of this endless wrong call. I didn't want to answer, but I did. I don't know why. I just did anyway. I said, "Hello?" My voice was cold and sharp. But her voice was different today, slower and weak. It was not confused anymore. It was shaking, weak and small, like she could barely speak at all. She said, "Michael, honey." It's Mom. My heart stopped. Everything around me disappeared into a heavy silence. She said, "I just wanted to hear your voice." She said, "Are you okay, my son?" She said, "Are you eating? I'm worried about you." Her voice hit me hard, deep inside my chest. It felt heavy in my chest. I thought about my own mother. She died last year, sadly. She was sick for a long time. I missed her every day. I missed her soft, gentle voice. I missed her calls. I remembered her last phone call. It was a Monday. I was at work. I was in an important meeting. I was very busy. I saw her name on my phone. Chapter 2. The Call I Never Answered. My mother was calling. I did not answer the call. I rejected the call that moment. I pushed the red button and ended it. I sent her a message instead of speaking to her. I wrote, "I am busy, Mom." I said, "I am in a meeting. I will call you later." I never called her later. She died that night, in her sleep, quiet and alone, while I worked. I never heard her voice again. I rejected my mother's last call, and that memory still burns inside. This memory is a stone in my heart. It is a very heavy, cold, gray stone. I will never forget that day. The guilt stays inside me like a shadow that never goes away. The old woman was still on the phone. She was waiting in silence, breathing softly, whispering. "Michael? Are you there, honey?" she said. I could not speak. My throat was tight, and my hands shook. I said quietly, "I am sorry. You have the wrong number." I hung up the phone. I sat at my desk and stared at the wall. I felt terrible, sick and empty inside. I felt sick. I felt hollow. The sound of her voice stayed echoing inside my head. Chapter 3. The Storm. Inside the house. 2 days passed. My life was not good. The air in the house felt heavy and cold. I had a fight with my wife, Julia. It was a very big, painful fight that night. It was a very bad fight. We shouted. We were both very angry and full of hurt. We shouted about money, about time, about everything that had been wrong between us for months. We shouted about my work. I said, "I work hard every day for this family. I'm tired." Julia said, "You are not here. You are always at your office. You are a ghost here. You do not talk to me." Her words hurt me deeply. I felt very angry and very lost. I felt very lonely. I left the house and slammed the door hard behind me in anger. I went for a walk. It was cold outside. I wandered through the dark, empty park alone. I sat on a cold, wet bench. I was the loneliest man in the city that night. My phone rang. I looked at the screen. It was the unknown number calling me again. It was the old woman again. Today I was not patient. I was not gentle. I was angry. I was full of pain from my fight. I answered the phone quickly. I wanted to shout. I wanted to scream. I wanted to say, "Stop calling me. Leave me alone forever, please. I am not Michael. I am not your son. I have my own problems already." I opened my mouth to speak. I was ready to shout, but then I did not speak. I heard a sound. It was not a voice at first. It was quiet crying. The old woman was crying softly. It was a very soft, broken, and very sad sound. She did not say hello. She just whispered into the phone through her shaking, heavy tears. She whispered into the phone while crying, "Michael, Michael, my son, why don't you answer me? I am so alone. I miss you. Please, just call me. I am so scared my anger disappeared. My fight with my wife disappeared. All my small problems faded into nothing. This was not a mistake. This was not a wrong number. This was a mother calling her son." Chapter 4. The Answer That Healed the Quiet. A very lonely, very sad mother. My mother was gone, but this mother was here, and she needed a son. I stood in the cold, dark park. I looked at my phone glowing softly in the darkness. I could hang up right now. I could block this number and end all of this forever. I could walk away and go back to my angry, lonely, and empty life again. I thought about my mother's last call, the one I had refused to answer that day. I rejected her. I pushed the red button. "Mom, I cannot push the red button again. I cannot hang up on this mother. I must answer this call tonight in the cold park." I took a big, deep breath. The cold air hurt my chest, sharp like ice inside me. My voice was shaking when I tried to speak, and my hands trembled holding the small phone. I said, "Hello, Mom?" Number. That was wrong. I tried again, softer. "Hello, Mom. Hello, I am here. I am here." She stopped crying. There was silence on the phone for a long second. Then she spoke, her voice trembling but filled with hope again. "Michael? Oh, Michael, you answered. You are okay." Her voice was full of light. She was so happy to hear me. I did not lie. I did not say yes. I did not say no either. I just said, "I am here. I am okay. How are you? Are you okay? How was your day?" I listened. I just listened as her words flowed like soft rain. She talked for 20 minutes. She told me about her day and the small things she did. She told me about her cat. The cat was sick, but she hoped he would get better soon. She told me about the weather, about the cold wind, and about the flowers near her window. It was a normal, simple conversation. I did not talk much. I just listened quietly to her. I listened to a stranger. I listened to a lonely old woman who needed someone to care. It was the phone call I missed. It was the one I had been running from. I was answering my mother's last call. I was answering the call I rejected long ago. That was 6 months ago. Her name is Margaret. Her son, Michael, was a soldier once. He died 5 years ago. He was her only son. She has no one else at all. I am not Michael. She knows I am not Michael, but I am her son now. I visit her every week. I bring her food. I fix her old radio when it breaks. We talk. We drink tea. I am not a stranger anymore, and she is not a stranger. She is my mother. I lost my mother, but I found a new one, quietly and gently. I finally answered the phone. Please help this story reach more readers by liking, writing your thoughts in a comment, sharing it, and subscribing.